Bank holiday Monday in UK, and I'm all gone all stubbly. That's about, I don't know, about 2 days worth of stubble. I'm going to go over the same test as I did on Saturday, which is a shave with a Filly, obviously carbon steel, Filly 14, the standard Filly14, double temple, very nice quality, obviously superb razors. I'm going to test it against my beast, the Wolfson, the Wolfblades Beast, which has got the RWL 34 stainless steel, and they both shave obviously very, very well. I can't quite fathom out why I can get a better hanging hair test off the carbon blade than off the stainless steel blade. This is confusing me. So I refreshed Saturday very carefully Trevor's wonderful beast using a paddle strop, TI paste, then followed with a very brisk stropping hanging hair test, not quite as I liked it, so I did a little tiny bit on a red oxide strop on a Boca loom strop. They're quite cute little travel strops, not as big or as well or as sharp in regard to their grit as perhaps a Maestro Levi, which I also have. However, here we are now, Monday, 29th of May, and I'm still not quite happy with the stainless steel. I think it's baffling me, but anyway, it doesn't matter. They're both excellent razors. It's just, why would you get a better result on carbon steel than on stainless? Very odd. Could be the grind, could be the final finish, I don't know. Let me just see what else I could show you. Not a lot. There's the Kaneyama, both the leather side, buff side and the shiny side. That's always my final last few strops. I've also got, here we are, here's the little Boca, which has got red oxide one side, just plain leather on the other side. I think the red oxide is very, very fine indeed, so perhaps it does make a difference, not a huge difference. I think it's slightly finer than the green Crocs, which we all use. However, I think that's enough lather. Let's try the Beast and see if there's been any improvement since I refreshed it. Probably not, but we'll see. Yeah, very nice. I do find that the thought that goes into a custom razor obviously gives you that slight edge over a mass-produced razor. And this has got such a lovely gentle feel. But let's not be forgetting it was slightly less than the Filly. So here's the Filly, which, as you can see, is a pretty good example of a Filly14 double temple. Let's go pretty much the same sort of area. It's crisper. Yeah. Has a slight more drag to it, strangely enough. So Trevor's has a very different feel. Let's go on the other side with Trevor's. See what results we get there. Given a choice, one of the big advantages, of course, huge advantages of stainless steel, if you're sloppy, you can put this away uncleaned, unwashed, and it's not going to tarnish, and it's certainly not going to rust in any way. Obviously I love them, so I look after them, but you could, you know, this is proof against most forms of oxidization. Yeah, we're splitting hairs again. Yeah, it's very nice. Our good friend and fellow YouTuber Gary Haywood finds that the advice given by Trevor is a very low angle. Well, that's a low angle. It's interesting, isn't it? Just a very slightly different feel. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that Trevor's is, I think, a little tiny bit more forgiving, a little tiny bit more stiff. Although it's a hollow, nice deep hollow blade, but of course smiling, has a slightly different feel to our old friend the Filly. The Filly, compared with, well, any other razor, is the best. As you can see, probably very slightly thinner. Hence why the crisp noise. But they both are magnificent. For anybody that's relatively new to straight razor shaving, you might wonder why on earth we do it and go through all this trouble. Well, the reason is, when you've had a BBS, a baby bum smooth shave with a good straight razor, the feeling afterwards is amazing. It's rather strange. You want to touch your face all day long because you can't believe the sensation. I don't think you can get that with anything else in the way of shaving. I just noticed, very slightly touch myself under the nose with this one, because I went at a silly angle, and therefore a very slight touch. Look at that, right under the septum. Doesn't matter, I couldn't feel it. And a touch of styptic pencil or a touch of the alum block, ta-da, and it's gone. However, that wasn't the point. This is a test. Let's go back to the Beast. I want to try the Beast for its slightly different feel and its stunning beauty. I know you've probably, anybody that's watched my nonsense before realizes that this was designed by Sergio Bandafrito in California, and Serge has a wonderful YouTube channel. He's having a rest at the moment. He's sorely missed. His music, his laughter, his enthusiasm, and his wonderful shaves, and they are wonderful. He's one of the main reasons I got so enthused about straight razor shaving. He injects a joy unrivaled and unparalleled, but he's a bit of a rocker. In fact, he's a lot of a rocker. Hence why he designed the Beast. Congratulations, Serge, what a beautiful razor. A clever design, interpreted, of course, exactly by Trevor Wolfson, who must have spent huge numbers of hours carving this out from a bar of solid steel. The little skull with my gleaming ruby eyes, plastic actually, does it justice. But after all, well, I mean, I'm not that much of an exhibitionist, but if you wanted to go to some place where the chaps have a communal shave, a camping site perhaps, can you imagine whipping this out, stropping it and shaving it? There'd be guys there who would applaud. There's guys that would have to be taken to a medical tent to have an oxygen mask put on them, I'm sure. Out of shock. But without going over the same old ground again and again, the skill involved, the manly, oh, can't use that word these days, the other person, manly skill involved in learning to straight razor shave is well worth the effort. Until in the end, it's second nature. For those who are watching this and are relatively new to straight razor shaving, it's all about muscle memory. It does take a little while to gain the muscle memory, but when you got it, you won't lose it. It's the same with any activity that uses coordinated efforts. When I'm an inline skater, and inline skating is different in regard to, yes, there's muscle memory, huge amounts of muscle memory. But if you don't do it for a long time, I have plantar fasciitis. That's a policeman's heel. That stopped me skating, and I never really got back into the full quality of the skating I enjoyed. My street skating before I had plantars was about 20 miles. I've done 4 marathons whilst inline skates. No effort at all. You're going about the speed of a fast jogger. You can go up and down pavements, over cobblestones if you must. You can jump up and down stairs. You're legal on the road, unlike skateboards, which are of course illegal on the road. So you see all these daft videos, pop videos, particularly in the 90s, with people cruising around looking cool on skateboards. Yeah, in a park, maybe. On the road, illegal. Whereas inline skates, you can go anywhere, legally. However, I'm only reflecting on the fact they both require a certain amount of dedication, a certain amount of muscle memory, as this does. Both are extremely worthwhile. So both shaving and other extreme hobbies just require a little tiny bit of time, a little tiny bit of dedication, and you will master it. You end up completely smooth, little areas that need a touch up always, obviously. I'm trying to cut this down to about 15, 16 minutes. I don't want to bore you guys to death. This is only a comparison really between why carbon steel has a different feel to stainless steel. Why carbon steel effortlessly HHTs, hanging hair tests, both ends of the hair, the hanging hair, whereas stainless has a reticence about it. I don't know why. Quite confusing me. Hopefully if I get to meet Mr. Wilson, you'll explain. Oh, that's such a good shave. Absolute perfection. But I'll never give up on my fillies. I'm still a lover of Philharmonicas, from the humble and relatively common double temple, which was made from the 1890s right up to the 1980s. And the strange thing is, contrary to what a lot of people say, even a very late Philharmonica still is a magnificent shave. The earlier, probably the better, but I think there's a lot of urban myth about that. I mean, I've got very early fillies, I've got very, very late fillies, and they're all magnificent. I've even got one very late Philharmonica double temple, which would normally have not passed its inspection at the factory. It's actually got a casting fault in the underside of the jimps, which when I got it was fairly black and not really noticeable. And I thought, oh no, late production one, unchecked. And yet it's one of the best shavers I've got. The steel and the quality is unparalleled. Double tempered obviously means simply it's been double tempered, and I don't know what their process was. On some of their wonderful razors, particularly the Sub-Zero, it was Sub-Zero quenched, hence the name. But in the case of normal razors, normal fillies, they're just magnificent. Anyway, chaps, my time is nearly up. Thank you for watching this diatribe. All I would say as a conclusion is, wow! Can't be a good shave. I'm still catching a few loose hairs. There they go, all gone. Perfection. Right, quick wash off. I'm going to give the usual, I don't bother usually showing you because it's so boring. I'm going to give the usual Allen block test, which is very good proof of whether you've had a faultless shave. Let's have a look. Yeah, can't feel a thing. Tiny little sting just there, but that's where I've gone in a little bit too close. Otherwise, no, perfect. So that's two different razors, carbon steel Filharmonica 14 and a wonderful stainless steel Wolfblades using the Beast. And I would say I'm now fit for the day. That's a BBS shave. And I should be going, ooh, whoopee-doo, for ages and ages today. Even though, just as a final reminder, if you watch the sun, it's actually quite fierce. The UV rays, as I found skating yesterday, will get you. And when they do get you, it leaves your face, neck, shoulders just a little bit tender. So there you go, there's the proof. There's a BBS shave with two completely different razors. That was the trick which I must say our very good friend Jacques Dapper Shaves always uses, and he's very wise, a wise man, very clever man. And that is use a little bit of your lather as a comforting aftershave. You don't need then anything else. That's it. Set for the day. Anyway, chaps, nothing really terribly conclusive. There is a difference between the best stainless steel RWL 34. There is a difference between that and carbon steel. But anyway, there you have it. Two totally different razors. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you again soon. Bye.